once upon a time, luckily not so long away, uh, the first chapter of the NIIT India Confluence was unfolded here in Goa in 2017. And I think the characters of the story and the star cast, which of course included many of you, fell so much in love with the place and with the story that they decided to meet here year on year again to keep building and keep evolving on the story. And we did that for many, many years until a villain named COVID came in between and did us apart, right? But we are like the Bollywood Indian love story, right? Despite the villain and the distance, a story kept evolving, right? खलनायक और दूरियों के बावजूद हमारी story जो है वो चलती गई. And actually, we actually benefited a lot in the sense of scale of our outreach, because the virtual conference which we did for the last 2 years, obviously we were able to reach out to many more people, and many people, because of because they didn't have to travel, could attend the virtual conference. Our scale was much higher, but of course what was missing was the warmth, right? And if I can take a word from our theme here, while it was, and I must say the virtual conference was very effective, it was still a broken experience, right? We also thought the best way to experience a story is to see the story, and hence we put up a very small video for all of us to see the story, which will talk about the past 5 editions, and will also give you a peek of the things to come in the next 2 days. Can we have the video? Thank you very much. And there's a reason why we said the conference 2023 is bigger, better, richer. And I'll give you 2. One, if you saw the Starcast, right? The Starcast, and given that we are in a very corporate setting, and nothing moves without technology in corporate world today, if you saw the names from the tech industry, almost all leading names are present in this room. And I'll just name a few, starting from Amazon to IBM Dell, Wipro, Persistent, and many, many more. The banking industry in the room is represented by all 4 leading private banks and many other leading banks and financial services companies. We then have a host of other companies from sectors across consulting, across captive GCCs, across many, many consumption companies like Daikin and Bata, where a lot of us go and spend our money. We also have our celebrity speakers in Harsha Bogle from the world of cricket, who joins us tomorrow, and Ashish Vidyarthi from the world of cinematic arts, who also joins us tomorrow. And of course, we have our opening industry keynote address from Mr. Amitabh Chaudhary and our industry leader address from Mr. Rishad Premji. And I think this star cast is unmatchable for making any event a bigger, better, richer event, right? Now, there could be villains too, in every story, but I'm not going to name villains, okay? And I'm not going to give any hints on who those villains could be, especially given that many of my own bosses are sitting here, okay? And we are in Goa, and I don't know how to swim, okay? The second, I think, is a very, very topical theme, right? And I know many of you have shown curiosity around the word broken in our theme. And while I've shared this one-on-one with many of you, I think the theme came about through our conversations with almost all of you, right? Sorry, can we go back? Okay, any which ways, now that this is up, right? The theme in many senses, right? In many conversations with our customers, the one simple statement, if I have to simplify this in one statement, the message that we got was that the talent was their only constraint to growth. And almost every business leader was talking to us and saying that there are opportunities in the environment, and if they have talent, they can maximize on the opportunity. And I think that talent was not only about availability of people or or skill sets or mindsets, but many other dimensions in terms of people being deeply involved in the organization, deeply engaged and committed to the culture, to the beliefs, to the value system, and to the purpose of the organization. Right. And on the other side, there were many dimensions in the talent environment which were coming up. Trends like great resignation, moonlighting, quiet quitting, ghosting your job, and many such trends were coming up. And many of those conversations really reminded us of another story, which was published in 1859 by Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities. And, sorry, previous slide. Okay. Where the opening lines, if you remember, read something like these. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom, it was the age of foolishness. It was the epoch of belief, it was the epoch of incredulity. It was the season of light, it was the season of darkness. It was the spring of hope, it was the winter of despair. And in many sense, our conversations with customers gave us an impression that the environment is something very similar. But then Charles Dickens, also in the same book, also published these lines, that nothing that we do is in vain. And I believe with all my soul that we shall see triumph. Right? And on that note of triumph, I now want to invite Mr. Vijay Thadani, because I know, like I said, he will share the story much more passionately with many more details, including details of how many people have attended which conference and which edition, right? Because that's his favorite question, how many people attended, right? I mean, he asked this question to me and my team in various cuts and forms, how many people, and how many people, right? And since we are talking the language of Bollywood, right? This question, how many people, is also the most popular and the most historical question that was ever asked in the history of Indian cinema, right? And it goes something like this.
कितने आदमी थे?
Right? On that note, Vijay, the floor is yours.